to the cloud. Okay, welcome. It's session number 9 in Live Your Passion Monthly Mentoring. I want to begin with a little drum beat to anchor us as if we can, center in and mute everybody. Okay, so we can anchor in as if we're all in one room, one connected space. And just take a good breath. It's the month of craziness. December tends to be a really busy holiday month and can get kind of stressful. So especially we need to just connect. Oh, good, Dave. That's great. Jam along. Get your drum out if you can. Take a deep breath. Or just be a drum. That's also good always. Good, Sheila. Taking a deep breath. It is good to drum as we begin. Even if you're just tapping on your knees. Because sometimes we forget to connect to the energy of what we give to the world. And the rhythm unites us. In body, mind, and spirit. And so I'm just going to slow down a little bit and ask my first question of tonight, which is, just taking a moment to remember what drew you to this course. What were you calling in joining this? Live Your Passion course. Thinking back on what has come through this monthly gathering for you, personally, interpersonally, inwardly, and outwardly. What barriers have you overcome? Important to acknowledge those milestones. They are hurdles in the journey. We learn to jump through these hoops, go over ladders, and jump over hurdles to get to the finish line. We're just breathing in that, and I want you to think about, what was your biggest takeaway of this course? And what's something that you want to walk with in the future, a goal that you have set for yourself in the future? What are you feeling passionate about right now in life and in your work? Where's your passion at the moment? I always feel like my self-employment journey is a personal development course. I've faced a lot of my own shadow, my procrastination issues, money issues, insecurity issues. right? It's a self-growth, personal growth workshop. Doing the work that we do takes a lot to generate that in the world. And the rewards are enormous. So then holding on to those thoughts about takeaways of what you've learned or discovered about yourself and your work, and those future direction thoughts. I'll give you a little time to just anchor into those thoughts. Those reflections. And where you have found some passion lately in your work. Might be a certain population you worked with, or it could be a random moment with a participant. Just take a breath. And if you could maybe write down a takeaway or hold it in your mind or write it in the chat bar is good too. What's your takeaway? And what's your future goal? And where's your passion? Those are the 3 questions. And I wanted to start with a quick story from 2 weeks ago. I had the opportunity. Can you all hear me okay? Yes, good. I wanted these recordings to have a good audio quality, so that's why I'm using the microphone and making sure it's really nice quality. So I had the chance to teach and speak at the Music Therapy National Conference 2 weeks ago, and I had a spiritual breakthrough that I wanted to share after 25 years of facilitating. Something new happened. That's not 25 years, maybe 20, which was that I started to lead this class. It was a student-only health rhythms protocol, drum circle, for music therapy students for burnout. And sitting next to me in the room is Ami Belli, the owner of Remo Belli Drums, Remo Drums. She inherited it when he passed. So, I felt some pressure, right? Like Ami Belli sitting next to me. Plus, they were using the new Harmony bars from Remo, so I had new equipment to use, and I had the owner's, I had the boss, basically, the owner of the drum company sitting next to me. So, my sponsor. So, in that moment, I could have felt a lot of anxiety. But something happened to me spiritually. Maybe you guys have had this experience. All that stuff, I saw it all, and then I chose to not pay any attention to it, and all of a sudden I was completely clear. And I experienced this like no ego state. Just being 100% there for the students. Just being 100% there for the circle. There was like 40 people in this circle. Just being 100% not worried about what if this goes bad. I was in the what if it goes right. This is going to be right. Like a paradigm change happened for me. I became the instrument. I was like, I have to be so clear. I can't be thinking those things. Like I saw them and then I let them go. Now, who can relate to this? Okay, good. So, because I wanted to put it out there for you to feel into like we don't always spend a lot of time on the art of being a facilitator. We talk about the setting space, holding space, and releasing space, right? So I just found that everything was prepared correctly. The simplicity of it was I had the instruments I needed. I had my helper with me. Summer was there helping me, and I had Ami there, and I felt clear. And my only fault was that I forgot to have the 3x5 cards. The one thing I teach everyone to do, which is to always get feedback, right? I'm so bummed because I think that my shift, it's not that I've never felt this clear, but there was something about the conjunction of, I could have been really worried. I had the boss there, new instruments to use, and then I saw all of that and still let it go. And I think we can be our best when we're that clear, right? We can be our best at facilitating whatever you're facilitating. It's got to be so universal, to be so present that we're, even 1 minute ago, I could be worried about it, but I've let it go and I'm just there for people. So if you raised your hand and you can relate to this, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't experienced it, the next time you go in to facilitate something, remember this thought of, whatever I'm worried about, I choose to let it go. And it helps to just have a little practice, whether it's an out breath or, something that you do. I know for me, I put my feet on the floor. I don't cross my legs. I just consciously put my feet on the floor and just go like, I'm here. And that gets me there. Boom, I'm grounded to the moment. So whatever you find, this is very individual, what works for you. But it was a breakthrough moment for me because the group unfolded perfectly. Normally, there was not even good or bad. It just all happened because I felt really present with it. And even I was surprised, like, oh, let's try this, And I hope we can all experience that. So I'm going to read a couple things on the chat bar. Great. Oh, Nancy's here. Oh, good. I didn't see you come on. Yay! Okay, good. Oh, and a couple people are here on the phones. Okay, who's here from 8307? Oh, maybe that's somebody's phone 30 here. So anyway, Nancy, I'm so glad you're here. To each day invest in my passion by drumming. Yeah. Allow the music to bring alive my dreams. Wow, that's a quotable sentence. Self-care first. You guys have such a strong common theme already. Self-care first. Focus on opening and ending, and the middle's up to spirit. Yeah, that's so great. The first time I saw that sort of system was Malidoma Some's book. The man from Burkina Faso, a shaman who wrote the book Rhythm, Healing, and Community. And he said, you know how to begin, you know how to end, and the rest is up to spirit. You're tapping into African wisdom. And that's really important to know how you're going to begin and end. The hero's journey. Passion is helping others with their health and wellness. That is so beautiful. Yep. Being centered, and I also break through spiritually. Yeah. Thank you, Sheila. You're in Costa Rica and you can only stand for an hour. Okay, no problem. We'll end it an hour. All right, so let me quickly move us while you're typing. I'm going to move us into a quick share that I created a PowerPoint. I'll send you the PDF of this. I hope you're seeing my screen. All right, ta-da, final review. So I just thought I would show you one of my favorite slides that I use when I speak. Drumming has been tested on human subjects for thousands of years. Okay, so one of the highlights for me of this 9 months was rewriting your bios. I really enjoyed it, and I feel like when you can walk with that, seeing that as a mirror of who you are, it takes a lot of courage to say who we are in the world, doesn't it? But having that bio, I hope to give you that courage. So I want to just mention goal setting because that's the theme of today. The mantra for this is, if you're not growing, you're wilting. Okay, welcome to the path of growth, because I'm doing things in this year that I never dreamed to be doing. It's incredible. So you are always going to be growing. Whoops, sorry, go backwards. Otherwise, we're wilting. So if it's growing in your drum practice or your, self-care, those are beautiful examples of growth. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible, according to Tony Robbins. So here's the areas that I like to think about: my facilitation, my business. Am I expanding or pruning? My admin effectiveness, the back end, and then my marketing of products and programs. So I'm going to send you this, but I offer these 4 areas because it's a medicine wheel for me, that these 4 things are 4 directions and I'm in the center. And I want to value my facilitation, my artistry of my skill set of doing this work. I want to grow in that, which only comes when I usually push myself to the edge somehow. And in business, I want to be either expanding or pruning. Right now, personally, I'll share that my business goal is to do less travel. So this year, I just did the final review of my year, which I do every year. And I looked at the fact that last year I did 13 travel events, and this year I did 8. So that's a great success. So I'm setting my goal for next year to do 7. Admin effectiveness and back end. You know, how are you keeping up with your bookkeeping, or do you have the support you need? I also looked, one thing I like to do at the end of the year is I do like a little evaluation review of my gigs, and I have one field that says, who helped me at the gig? And I noticed something exciting this year when I looked at my list of gigs was, hey, I had great help at everything I did, whether I recruited it or I paid people, I recruited, or I just felt supported. Getting volunteers is a great thing for your business. People want to help you. I've got this guy who just loves to help me and loves to learn from me. And then lastly, of course, how are we doing with marketing? Have you launched a new program? You guys probably all saw the program I launched. I'm calling it the Global Rhythm Sangha. And it's taking place next year. It's a monthly program for a whole year of learning world rhythms. And that was a lot of work for me to set up and market it and prepare for it. So that was one thing you can think about, is how are you expanding in your marketing? These were the topics we covered. You can just have a quick review of these. We started with language. We learned push and pull marketing, correct compensation, powerful programs, how to create and hold space. That's that one about set the space, hold the space, and release the space. And then what kind of facilitator are you? And then we did create, brand, and sell products and services, social media and newsletter basics, lifestyle balance, and time management tools. And today, goal setting and the next action steps. And just a reminder, I know 3 of you on this call have already agreed to be in the next year program, which I'm thrilled about because it's only 6 months, but we have more of a project-based style. So we have goals that we have to accomplish each month, and we keep each other accountable to those goals via email communication with partners. And I've just found that the mastermind is really an exciting experience for me because it's people who've taken any of my courses. So they've all come from the 9-month programs, and they have the same page, and they're just doing amazing things. They've had great breakthroughs because I'm convinced we need each other to go to these next levels. So that's my share. Okay. I wanted to see what Renee's takeaway was. Confidence being, yeah. You've had a lot of breakthroughs in your confidence as a facilitator, and I'm so grateful you've shared them with me. During this course, I got to meet Renee live in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which was really great. We were at a conference together. My passion is creating space for people to grow. You guys should write these things down that you're writing in the chat bar. I can copy these and send them to you because that's so clean. My passion is to create space for people to grow. I can send the link to the mastermind, of course. I will. All right, let me open it up then. Unmute all. Okay. So let's see if anybody would like to share. You're typing in here your takeaways, but I'm interested to hear your goals for the future. Because I think when we speak them out loud, we can claim them. And we can all hear them and we can support them. And you might already know this, but it helps to make a very specific goal. So whether it's like mine was travel less. That was my specific goal. So how are you guys feeling about your goals? Go ahead, Nancy.
Oh, that's right. I'm not muted. So, you know, just from that one time you said to go to the January thing and not send the postcard.
Yep.
So now I've been able to get myself scheduled to do a 30-minute mindfulness practice with all 200 or whomever shows up.
Whoa.
And so I'm going to take I know. And I already got all my swag and all my packets together. So that little thing that I wasn't going to do has turned into this really awesome event where with my niche market with the legal professionals, and these are all the people who book trainings for the professionals. And so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take my drum and start off the mindfulness meditation with that first, and then do a guided imagery kind of meditation and a breathing. But that's a way for people to see me, like you said, put a name with a face, because the postcard would have never been able to do this. So I'm excited about that. And so that's one of my goals, is then to follow up with all the people that I meet and to really put a lot of energy and fun energy into marketing it the whole time in January, so that and then to follow up and get as many emails, and then to follow up with people, and maybe I don't know what to send them. I did get a hold of a video person, and he's taken a portion, 4 minutes out of my training video that I did in Chicago, and he's going to do an introduction in and an introduction out on how to book with me to do wellness programs and mindfulness and all of that. And so that's in the works. It'll be done by the middle of December, and it's going on my webpage. And he's also showed me how somehow you download it, and then you can have that little barcode that people can snap on it with their phones, and it brings it up on their phones. It's not a barcode, it's a little square thing. QR code. I'm going to have him do that as well. Yeah.
What is it called, David?
QR code.
Yeah, QR code. Yeah, QR code. Which is not that complicated, you guys. There's actually a website that helps you build the QR code. But exactly, because I wanted to ask you, how are you going to get the email addresses of the participants?
We have a booth, and we will also have access to all the participants because we have a booth, because we paid for the booth.
Oh my God, that's great.
And everything. And then I'm giving away a big bag full of things, and I'll put things in on mindfulness. I'll put things on wellness. And I was even thinking about putting a small Remo drum in there.
Yes, I think the drum is going to brand you.
And
my book.
I love this
That's
book.
awesome.
I love this book.
That's awesome.
It is just, for whatever reason, opened up a lot to me. And I'm underlining and highlighting, and I love it. So that's only one event, and I'll be honest, I haven't gotten much further than putting out the intention. If I got a booking every month from this conference, that would be nice.
There's your goal.
There's 12 bookings to go to different places to do this teaching and everything. And I'm doing a lot more research and reading to put in the information that left brain people need, so that they can, I can invite them to the right side. So I'm excited about it.
Okay, let's give her some Zoom applause. I mean, you've done so much work for this event, and it's smart because you're in front of your people. And I absolutely love your goal to book 1 gig a month from this event.
Yes.
And it can happen, completely can happen. When years ago, when we were doing diversity training, we went to a conference, we spoke at the conference and had a booth, and we totally booked, 8 gigs from it. So, and sometimes they didn't come right away, but we did keep on top of it. So yes, it can happen. Great goal. And you've really worked for it.
Thank you.
I think it's amazing that they're going to give you the emails. That's fantastic. Usually when I'm presenting, I have a text to join sign that says, if you'd like a free track, you can text me. I forgot what David put about the 3x5 cards helps you worry less about the experience. Yeah, because you're going to get the feedback. Getting those feedback cards are great. Okay, who else has a goal to say?
I can.
Okay.
Um, the things that we have talked about just going forward is getting out into the community more, doing things that just gets us out in front of people more to get the word out of what we're doing. In our community, there's no other drum circle. So, and we live in the Midwest, so it's we're a little slow to do something. But just getting out and showing people what the drum circle is. And then we need to rework our content on our webpage, because as we've been growing in the vision of what we're doing, what we originally started is different. So we just need to update that so it's more current. And then I'm working on trying to start my own mentorship group. So
Great.
one of the businesses I've opened is with 3 of my girlfriends, and it's called the Wichita Body Studio, and we're yoga, fitness, and massage. And one of the things we've been dedicated to there is just trying to help young women who are starting out their own businesses. And we've had I've mentored a few different people, like individually. So I'm trying to put something together similar to what you're doing and use the Zoom. Great. And offer that for 6 to 9 months time. So
nice. That is a big applause. My tip on that is for all of you is to think about, I love how Renee's speaking to, we want more recognition in our community. That's always smart, local things. Years ago when I was starting my business in Colorado, I did a few gigs for almost no pay or for free even, because they had high exposure. One of those was called First Night, and it's a New Year's Eve, drug-free New Year's Eve program. They have them in most cities. And I had hundreds of people in my drum circle. So I got a lot of gigs booking from that. I couldn't believe who was in my audience, like the director of the hospital who hired me for a grant. So that was a community event. So the second thing I want to say is all of you who want to get, like Renee's going to start a mentoring program in Wichita, Kansas, think about doing a free online or free live gathering. We tend to promote things and market them, and the most obvious way to sign people up these days in the knowledge era is the grocery store method of a free sample. So think to yourself, how can I give a free sample of a mentoring experience? Could I do an open 1-hour talk? Could I do a 30-minute Facebook Live? Could I do a 30-minute Zoom call where I explain some of the keys to, and it's content driven. What is Vinny, like what is the 3 key components to having ceremony on the winter solstice? So a lot of this marketing these days is offering those free tastes, so then people will enroll.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Anything else you want to say?
I don't think so. That's it.
I'm so psyched that you're doing the mentoring group. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Is your screen, and Nancy's is too, so clear? Do you guys just have good lighting? And maybe it's okay. It's more in the
I have something called the Ring Light, and I really recommend it if you're going to do any webinars on the computer. It's $100 on Amazon, and it's basically called the Halo Light, so it lights you in this nice circle.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and when I started teaching more online, I spent some money, upgrading this equipment, microphone, lighting, because it really makes a difference when people can see you, and lighting is probably the main thing. Seeing and hearing.
Does your microphone just plug into your computer?
It's using an interface called Scarlett, and it's a USB interface so that I could use any microphone.
Okay.
It was about $100 and very, very awesome because the quality just shoots right up.
Okay.
Maybe you can tell. I mean, you can really tell that. And I just got a webcam. Those were the 3 things I bought. The webcam, I found out that the cameras inside our computers, you guys, are like 3 cents.
Oh, wow.
Cents, made in China. My friend Dave is a professional videographer. He said the first thing you need to do is buy a webcam. They're like $100 from Logitech. No, actually, they're like $45 on Amazon. And so I got a better, better video, better lighting, and better audio, and stage design.
Yeah.
I got the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was coached on how important. Let's check this out. Yeah, check this out. One thing I did learn is not to have too busy of a set when you're teaching online or doing anything online, even coaching or mentoring one-to-one. Because if your set is really busy, people get distracted. They start thinking, well, what does Christine have in her home? So I cleaned out my set. All right. I hope those are helpful things. Who's next talking about their goals?
Okay.
Go, Dave.
So I had a couple goals. I think the more specific one is more networking. And specifically getting to like more like health rhythm training. I want to get to Hawaii for the Village Music Circle training. And then also, like, I'm about an hour away from Jenny Swerdlow, who's, you know, an amazing facilitator. And like, I want to get to her circles and see what she does and talk to her and maybe even help her if she has something. So, and just doing more things like this, because I think when I went full time starting in August, like I got hit by, 5 drum circles a week, and it was crazy. And it kind of kicked my butt for a few months, and that's where the administrative came in. So I think learning from, people like Christine and Arthur and Jenny and, people who have been doing it for a long time, and just having conversations with people, and not even necessarily in the drum circle facilitation world, but other people that do similar to what we're doing, So I think that's probably the biggest goal for me next year. And also to fine tune, like what my direction is, because I'm right now doing a lot of different things. I'm doing drum circles and after school programs. I'm doing these community drum circles. I'm getting hired to do birthday parties. And, I have all these things that I'm doing. And I just feel like that I need to kind of focus that direction down on a couple different things,
Yes.
That way I can try more. That way I can try more things too.
That's correct.
Teaching at a school, but I've always been interested in, what it looks like to do a drum circle at a senior care facility, because I have, a friend in Texas that's all he does, and so, so those are my goals.
Or maybe if you have a connection to schools, you could consider expanding into offering team building for the teachers.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like the beginning of my working with corporate settings and staff was at the nursing home where I was working at the long-term care. I was a music therapist there. And then I just went to the HR and said, I'm already here, but I'm interested to know, do you ever need something like this for the team building for the CNAs? And they were like, yes, that'd be awesome. So it was great that I got to network that into a different audience within the same location.
Yeah.
Great comments. Thank you. Jenny is also a graduate of Monthly Mentoring and Mastermind, and we all were together with her when she booked Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was thrilling, and we were all with her in that journey. Yeah. And I think the thing that I'm interested in most with the Mastermind is how to make a sustainable business.
Yeah.
How do we build something that we can continue to build? And one tip for you, David, is another guy I coached in Florida. He was doing drum circles in libraries all summer long, and he had like rockin' business. And so he learned to train someone else in his protocol, in his approach, and subcontract out the gigs. So he started to get a passive income check from the fact that he had already developed this great program.
Right.
So as you develop great programs in schools, you can actually expand that through, okay, I'm now going to look to recruit some new people to do those gigs, and I manage them. It's a great strategy.
Yeah.
But I love your thought, because networking with Jenny is a brilliant idea, and going to Hawaii is a brilliant idea for you.
Yeah.
And focusing is a brilliant idea for all of us. I think the main question I always ask myself is, where's my passion?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I sent you about.
So let's give him a big applause for going full time in August. I mean, that's just giant. And then you had 1 circle a day.
Dude, it's been some days like, and then gigs and rehearsals, and yeah, it's been crazy. That's why I missed a couple, because I was like, oh, I have this drum circle, and oops, I forgot to calendar it all. And so I think it was the administrative, two weeks, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I don't know. You had, I can't remember when it was, but you were just talking about how you set aside, was it 4 hours for nature?
Yes.
You prioritize, like, okay, I'm going to sit down and do admin. And so, like, managing my calendar has just been a struggle to get it under control. But I feel like I finally have it under control. So
we all understand that. Who here understands that? Managing time management. Time is our biggest currency. And when you're self-employed, you could always be doing more for your business. You have to become really good at boundaries for yourself and self-care. And yes, scheduling your priorities, not prioritizing your schedule. That is the good thing I learned from Stephen Covey. And it takes time, but then you can avoid burnout, because that's really expensive.
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple times this, in like October, I was just like, man, I'm thinking in my head, like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, how do I manage that? Like,
right.
Oh, gosh, one more little bratty boy, throwing my djembe across the room. Like, what? Oh, man. So, but
yep. Yeah. Making a sustainable business. Okay, Vinny, let's talk to you next.
Yeah, like for me, it's a little bit different since I'm full-time right now. Yeah. So I think before I was just kind of doing like fun. I was not like I was kind of, because I had like a full-time job, which kind of almost exhausted me. So I kind of did like just little bit, did really plan or things like that. But now I'm kind of trying to really see what I want to do, what I want to focus and stuff like that. And I'm just kind of like, since I'm more full-time right now, I'm kind of getting out my name and stuff like that. So it's kind of like making me like, I mean, sometimes when I don't have like clients, I don't have like the work, then I kind of feel this is a time I need to kind of develop myself. So just because I'm not getting anybody right now, it doesn't mean I won't get anybody next week, because it kind of like showed me like last year, like around May, I put out like a cacao ceremony, something called Healing the Mother or something like that. And I had like nobody sign up for that. So then after like 6 months, somebody reached out to me and they asked me if I would do that again. And so I ended up doing that, like same kind of ceremony. It ended up being like I mean, my cacao ceremony is a little bit kind of, it's not very specific. It's kind of like, it's cacao ceremony, but there are different things added to it. Depends, or I collaborate with different people. So that one actually ended up being a cacao ceremony with a friend drum circle.
Beautiful.
So I kind of felt, because it was all like women, and I really felt it'd be really, I mean, they wanted like more like a healing the mother kind of thing. So I really felt frame drum might be a really good addition to it, and just
nice.
like, taught them just a couple of things. And then that actually led me to like kind of have like individual, because it kind of branched into different things too. So then I actually ended up being like going into Ayurveda and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like saying, like, I mean, I want to be a bit clear on what I'm doing as well. It kind of feels all over, but at the same time, the goal comes to like one. And then I also like having like limits right now. Before I'll be like any ceremonies I want to do, but right now I think like I know per month I want to only do like 4 ceremonies per month. I don't want to do more
It's
than
great.
that.
That's really good.
Because I really feel like ceremonies, it's much more intimate. People really opening up, they're really sharing. So, and then you travel, anything like that, it kind of exhausts you in a sense. So I feel like 4 is good.
That's right. You have to load up your car, unload, pack it all up.
Yeah. And so things like that. And I think it actually made sense. I mean, I feel like my goal is to be more structured on the
Hmm.
promoting and stuff like that. I mean, like I randomly do like live and stuff like that, but I feel like, or even like I feel like because the men's circle and stuff, I tried to do it here, and I didn't really have any success in that. But at the same time, I feel like people really don't know much about that too. It's really different for them in this area because
Yeah,
like because I'm kind of like Midwest too, right? I mean, I'm in like
you
Saskatchewan,
are.
close to, yeah. So it's the same. It's a farm town. They're slow to come up and stuff like that. So maybe I'm thinking maybe I should maybe right now I should do like a monthly online men's circle or something like that, like a free, like a,
Absolutely.
yeah, once a month online men's circle, and that might draw people, and that might kind of develop a potential for doing something more like in person afterwards.
Absolutely. I think that's
Mhm.
brilliant for you. And I love that you did the frame drum with the cacao. And the other thing I learned about you when we rewrote your bio is that you have this whole education in health and nutrition. And
Yeah,
your,
like
your whole coaching men is huge right now. Men's health. And a friend of mine is now a full-time, he calls himself a men's vitality coach.
nice.
I mean, that is a big growing area. And if you can make that monthly group happen, that was the success of Remo Drum Circles, is they had a free Tuesday night circle in Hollywood. And one day the LA Times came and did an article about it. And the next day, 250 people came. And that was
Yeah.
like the big ta-da, because we started selling drums like crazy. And, but we just had to give it away so that people would learn what it was. And that led to grants, it led to coverage, it led to awards. I mean, it was just Remo's brilliant marketing was, let's give something away. Everybody wanted people
Yeah.
to charge, but he didn't. He refused. He didn't charge. And so that we got all that publicity and that exposure. And there's something in it for you because you're going to learn your
Totally.
skills,
Yeah, it's kind of challenging in a bit. It's I mean, I would love to work with more men, but somehow it feels like somehow women are more attracted to my offerings. I don't know why, but it
No,
just kind
it's,
of feels that way. Like it's just much more easier that way. I'm trying to reach out to men too, but
I love
somehow
it.
it ends up. I even did one man yoga and stuff like that. It just kind of like randomly happened. I didn't really plan any class or anything like that. I was just having a coffee with my friend, and for him, he never ever been to yoga class because he's thinking like yoga class is so expensive, like it's not like kind of like not doable, anything like that. Like randomly, it was like we're talking on Friday. I'm like, hi Tom, like if you want to try it out, I will just do it for $5. Just come and try something like that. So I just gonna put up randomly one class. I had like three men come and join me, and they felt okay, this is like more intense, kind of almost a workout. It's not just very like passive thing. Like yoga can be like intense as well. So like I'm kind of planning like maybe like I need to do more consistent. I mean, I feel like if I do it every week, it's not going to go. Like maybe I should do monthly once or something like that. So definitely I'm going to try like monthly once, like men's online circle,
I
or
think
even
it's
like a
really good. And my tip for you is to give it a theme. Don't
theme.
just say
Yeah.
it's a men's group. Give it a
Hmm.
theme. It's about vitality today, or it's about Google men's health issues. So we
Hmm.
always do marketing by what's needed.
Hmm.
So what is the big issue? Number one, men die 7 years earlier than women because of stress.
Hmm.
So, reversing stress through men's gathering this week or this
Hmm.
month. I think it's brilliant because the other thing I would say to you, and then I want to check in with Sheila, is remember to get your name out in a community is a great goal. And what's going to give you exposure is collaborating with locations and people who already have a mailing list. That's what you want. That could be the
Okay.
new age church in your community. That could be the health food store. Could I give a free thing on,
Hmm.
at the Whole Foods, or those kind of promotions are great exposure for you because you're right. You want to get known at this stage.
Hmm.
You
Yeah, no,
need
for
to
sure.
know.
I also made like a little like business event. So I did like a kind of like had like a branding person kind of do my logo and stuff like that. So I did that and then made like almost like a postcard, like kind of like my like name and the Facebook, Instagram,
Like
and then
Nancy did. Awesome.
yeah, yeah, and then reverse was more like the what like services I offered and stuff like that. That's good more rough. So I want to get and make more of that, and wherever I go, I want to give that. And I kind of like missed out on the feedback card. I had to make sure I had to do that. Maybe like go watch the video or something, and maybe I should start. I'm probably going to start giving in all my ceremonies if people want to like give feedback. So I think I never.
We
really
all
connected
love the
that way.
3x5 cards because you can pass them out and get feedback. The other thing you can do is ask if anybody has a minute and they want to share their experience. I'd like to videotape your testimonial with a phone. That's a great thing. And Sheila, just I'm going to ask everybody right now to brainstorm a topic that you would see that would be good for a men's gathering. And I like what Sheila wrote. Men have blocked energy. So then I would transfer that to 3 secrets to having more energy. You know, that's a great topic. And if you can brainstorm these ideas all in one sitting, you've got your year set up. Men are starting to seek awareness. Secrets of mindfulness for men. Yeah. So let's all type in the chat bar any ideas. You don't have to be a man to know. Clearing your blocked energy. Right. Communication, I think, is a big one too. And emotional intelligence. And it doesn't mean you have to be an expert at these topics. It just means that it gives you a focus of the men's gathering. And then maybe like also secrets of health.
Like I also find like where men struggle is kind of like the boundaries on like the masculine and the feminine energy, because
Beautiful.
they don't know where the limit is, like because they don't want to be like get too much into it, because sometimes I think like depends what's going on in your life. Like you might be like let's say you went through a tragedy and you're really going through a strong like a healing. It may be like your family may be really, really strong at that time. You might be not really have any masculine at that time because that's what you need. But then that actually could really pressure like men because they're being very feminine or really in that zone.
So we're going to keep typing ideas for you.
Oh, thank you.
Trauma clearing. These are good. Okay, let me switch over to Sheila. Let's give him some love for appreciating Vinny for his giant jump this term when we were all together.
Thank you.
And it's like you and Renee have a lot in common, like being in these communities where it's not as you know, it's not the Bay Area. Sheila, any goals you'd like to share?
Really blurry.
I know.
Turn on the light. Anyway, I was thinking of a healthy spiritual retreat.
A healthy spiritual what?
To a retreat, a gathering.
Oh, nice.
That's,
Beautiful.
Also, I wanted to add to, I love working with seniors in my memory group.
Yeah.
That's my passion. And I wanted to add, I do yoga and drum also. And I wanted to add like chanting, but I need one thing. I had your CD, the music.
Great.
Women power. Woman am I, spirit
am I.
Yeah, I played it so much, I've misplaced it. I need that from you. I want to add that and maybe do like a women's spiritual group gathering with yoga. And what else? And not last but not least, I also need team building. I would like to do team building and
Great.
networking. The places that I work at, I got that idea when you said that to David.
Yep.
The places that I do work at, I'm thinking about the workers, the caregivers that work there need some release, some clearing.
Beautiful goals. I'm impressed with your goals. And the way to get into these professional development programs, like working with your staff, it's just knock on the door and say, do you have any needs for staff development? They always need professional development hours. Just use the word professional development. Could I help by doing a drumming program, a yoga program, a whatever program? Sheila, you're like a very multifaceted. She has this huge background in fitness work and then drumming. and now chanting. I do feel like you're really finding yourself, and you keep growing and expanding in the spiritual path, and then you want to offer it back to people. And the staff team building is very more lucrative. I'll say that too, because they always have a budget for professional development.
Oh, great.
I mean, we did drum circles for years under the term diversity training.
Okay, that is my
Because
goal.
universities were mandated to provide diversity training. I mean, I paired with a diversity training expert, but I did the drumming portion. And that was like 15 years ago, and they would pay us $4,000 for 2 hours.
Wow.
I mean, it was required by the university. It was required for all the RA training. So once you find a niche like that, like you say to the place where you work at a senior center, do you need professional development hours or diversity hours? There's drum circles are the most beautiful way to demonstrate diversity. Let's all come together and create an all-day program, and we all present for an hour or so. It's great. Okay, I was just wondering if there's anybody else on this. Let's give Sheila that appreciation for her successes and developments.
Yeah.
These are great. Is there anybody else on the call that we haven't heard from? Because I see 2 phone numbers. Yes.
Yes. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, it's Carol Ludwig.
Yay!
I tried to get in the regular Zoom, but it kept crashing. So I was finally like, all right, I've got to try to call in. So I have been missing everybody so much. I moved, and it has taken all of my time and energy. Like, it was just trying to sell our home and get the new house and do all that. So I kind of put my business on hold for a few months while I've been trying to get all this going and get settled. But now I'm burying and planning for next year. And I've been enjoying, watching the sessions afterwards and taking notes and getting what I can, and lots of good stuff there from everybody. But I'm excited about my goal for next year. It's very specific.
Great.
What I want to do, so I'm a celebrant, for the people that don't remember that, because I haven't been on a live call in a bit. And instead of just focusing on funerals and things like that, I want to try to partner with a yoga studio in my new town to see if I can do seasonal ceremonies with them. And I'll bring my drum. I'm learning more about drumming all the time, and I want to have that be part of it. But do seasonal ceremonies that they sponsor, that I could get to know the community that way. And then also at Mother's and Father's Day, do my remembrance ceremonies instead of just for my friends. I could do them for the public and have that be a meeting place, and help people with grieving, and really try to take the stigma out of loss and grieving, and help work with people. But if I get a yoga studio to work with me, I can get my name out there. Because that's been my big issue, is it's just me sitting here with all these ideas, but how do I let the world know about it?
Yes, I remember when you brought your idea for the pet grieving, and we were talking about how you could just focus more with one vet that you have a connection with. And so I love what you're saying. That's really resonating for everybody to learn from this moment is he's taken on the bigger problem in her development of her company, right? So I'm a celebrant, and I notice that people have issues around grieving. So it's sort of like Vinny. Okay, I'm going to do men's work because men have issues around, the spiritual path is not as popular to that men as women, or whatever the men's health issues are. So you guys are both we all are kind of seeing, like, if I'm going to promote my business, I have to tackle whatever is the societal norms around this. Mm-hmm. I love your 2 targeted offerings, because it's right there when we need that support is Mother's and Father's Days. Exactly.
Yes. Yes. So I'm really looking forward to doing that, and I'm so happy. I finally today set up my altar. It's been in boxes, and I have felt really unmoored. We just got a single family house. Yeah, everything's been in boxes, and I haven't felt connected to the house yet, and I haven't done a house cleansing or blessing yet at all. I need to do that. But I just took my treasures out today, and I was like, oh God, here they are, my stones and my antlers and all my stuff, and I'm like, oh, thank God. So I was really looking forward to coming on the call and explaining why I've been not live.
No.
But that I'm getting a lot out of the content and all of that stuff. So that's where I am.
Keep at it. It's really beautiful what you're doing in the world. And I love your niche. I love your creative marketing ideas. Brilliant.
Oh, good. Thank you.
You know something, sometimes we give those things away and then we can monetize them. Like we hold that group and then we can find a way to create a, specializing in grief of parents or celebrating parents. It's sometimes that's how we build the content that could be an online class, how to honor your parents. So beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you for jumping on the call, and we're celebrating your new move.
Oh, thank you so much.
Is there anybody else I haven't heard from?
Hi, this is Sumi.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm on the phone call too. I'm sorry. I'm with my kids' extracurricular activities. I'm kind of like doing both things. But yeah, I wanted to add on because my goal is, I think, really, really getting out there in social media. I'm like kind of been scared
That's
about,
a great goal.
being, that's really, I think, is my weak point. And I want to get over my fear and really get out myself and then really like videotape and, even on my webpage, have a little sample so people can sense who I am. And I think that's the main point where people, senses your energy and your intention. I think you get more trust in that way because other things is like word of mouth that I feel like it's going to happen. And my other thing is I'm trying to translate my work into Japanese. So I could have like a session with Japanese people and community that that is my like niche community. So those are two of my goals of getting out in the social media and translation my work and doing my group work or one-to-one session in Japanese. So
very nice, clear goals. So I have a tip on getting social media going, which for all of you is, and I was thinking especially for you, Vinny, like getting on camera on a video. For some reason, video is what people are tuned to now on Instagram. They have Instagram TV, but also on Facebook. And the tip is if you practice it first. Everybody thinks I'm such a whiz on camera, and I'm not. I just practice it twice usually before I really take the video. I shoot it and I watch it. And then I reshoot it, and then I watch it, and then I usually shoot it the third time. It's not a first time for me. And then the other thing is putting the video on YouTube is great, but putting it directly onto Facebook, whether it's Facebook Live or, and you're right, then they feel your energy. And always be camera ready. Take time to look good on camera. And there's certain colors that look great on camera. I've researched this. And the number one is this sort of like a between pink and purple. It's called chartreuse, I think. No, I don't know what it's actually called. I can't remember the name of it, but it's sort of like this pink. It's like a deeper pink for women is the best color on camera, apparently. And that's why we see all the anchors on television always wearing that color. No patterns. Plain shirts are best on camera. And the other great tip for all of us doing new things like Sumi's speaking to is to research it. Find somebody's videos you like. That's how I built my website. I researched everybody's websites. I really based my website on Dr. Wayne Dyer, actually. I loved his website the most. I felt like his energy came through. I was like, it wasn't overly marketing and selling. And I thought, this is what I'm going to model myself after. So take a look at other people's videos and come to what works for you. And I love that you're getting out there into the Japanese community through the language. That's fun.
Thank you.
Ine. Subarashi desu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Do itashimashite. So now everyone, we can now start, Nancy's already writing it. So we can all take a moment to close. Really, I want you to take a moment. I'm going to just mute us all for a second to close us out. I'm really moved by this call tonight. I feel like I'm going to cry. I just feel like what you're doing is helping so many people, and you're taking such giant risks in your lives to do it. It is the hero's journey. And it's been a real honor knowing you all. I'm thrilled that we had celebrants and cacao ceremony leaders and fitness directors and spiritual Renee, ministers. And I'm so thrilled that we had a unique interdisciplinary team and mindfulness teachers, Nancy. And I'm so thrilled we had this interdisciplinary experience so that we could see how these things occur no matter what we're in. We're doing marketing and we're doing self-care and we're doing, these 9 keys. So I'll send you this PowerPoint I made. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you're doing in the world, most of all, and that you're making it happen. Because I want you to all live your passion and be happy making money. And I've been so honored to meet you all. So if you want to say closing, you can just type it in the chat bar. And I hope I see you in Mastermind. And if not, I just bless your work from the bottom of my heart, that it's just going to flourish and that you continue to enjoy that work. Yeah. Thank you so much for choosing to be in this program. I mean, it was a commitment of time and money and energy and meeting each other. And thank you for being in our group. I'll just unmute everybody for the final shout outs. If anybody wants to do a final shout out, there you go. Nancy gets to start because she's leaving.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's great. Renee, any final shout out?
This has been such a great experience, and it's been so fun to get to interact with people from all over the world and just joining together to further our journey. And that's just been awesome. Very fun. Thank you.
Thank you. And you'll hear from us too to get anybody to give us testimonial. Any goodbyes, words, David?
Thank you all so much. It was, like I said in the chat bar, it was a pleasure to meet you all and have the breakout sessions with all of you. And thank you, Christine, for offering this program. It's been a great experience, and I've learned a lot.
Vinny, shout out.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I don't know if it's feeling. I'm kind of glad I've been Mastermind because it feels really short, but I don't know why. But I feel like I've only made a few calls, but also I watched it and definitely like doing it. And I feel like it's going to be more like going to implement more of what I learned, and it's going to be great. Thank you so much for all the support and being here.
Thank you for shining your light in our circle. Of Sheila, in the midst of the blur.
The group, I've learned a lot from all of you, and you're all shining bright. Thank you, Christine, my mentor, and I learned a lot from you, and thank you so, so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. Sumi?
I just want to say thank you, everyone. I learned so much too, and it's so encouraging to know that people are out there, and also at the same time having struggled too as much as I am. And it's kind of encouraging that we're kind of, headed in a similar direction, and having same goal is really strengthening, gives me courage to move forward. So thank you so much. Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Carol? How perfect that our celebrant is going to be our final voice on the call tonight. Carol?
Oh, I love it. No pressure. No, I really feel like that, Christine, one of your many gifts is that you are beautiful at holding space, and not obviously in the ways you've done it throughout your career, but on these calls where it's difficult. People are on the phone or they're trying to do a Zoom, and it's difficult to connect with technology. But you have brought these people together to learn how to grow ourselves and our businesses and infuse them with our goals and our strengths. And you formed a community that I am proud to be part of. Mm-hmm. And I want to continue to be part of in some way for sure. And I know it's an honor for me to have been being taught by you and to learn from my classmates. And I want us all to go forward and shine our light with love and all of our endeavors.
And that came from the celebrant on the call. Drum roll. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. What happened to Christmas?
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Till we meet
Bye.
again.
Till we meet again.
They see me in the master class.
Wait, what is it we say in Japan? Oh, in Japan, we do this thing where we go clap, 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 clap. Clap, clap, clap,
Yes.
clap, 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 clap.
Clap,
That's how we say
yes.
goodbye in the Japan calls.
Yes. It's like a
Bye.
rooting goodbye. Bye.
I know. I love that about
Bye.
Japan.
Bye bye.